Okay, so the second wine we're tasting is a 2009 Chateau Saint Michel Cabernet, of course, from Indian Wells. This is the same. This is from the same winery as the first one we tasted, except it's from a certain region, a certain area of the property, the Indian Wells section of that vineyard. So all the grapes in this wine are from that particular area, and as a result, the wine is a little bit more expensive than the first one. The first one was about $16. This is about $20.
Okay.
So it'll be really interesting to compare two of the same Cabernets from the same vineyard. This one being from a certain part of that property.
Anything else different in the grapes, or it's mostly both are mostly Cabernet?
It's 80% Cabernet. The first one was 77% Cabernet, so it's very close. The first one was a bit has some Bordeaux and Grenache. This wine has some Bordeaux and Syrah, and the Syrah actually is what makes it a bit darker.
I get that first taste.
You're gonna take it tonight.
Wow, it's got a different scent in it.
It's a little darker as well.
That's the Syrah.
Yeah,
That's the Syrah. Mm-hmm.
You could pour that.
Yeah. What's your thoughts?
I'll be looking forward to actually
A little more.
taking a bigger taste. I'll wait for you guys.
This one actually has spent about the same amount of time in the oak as the first one, about 16 months in oak. Some of the tasting notes on it are...
I think it's a standard. You know, the last one was about 16 as well. Is that like a... I wonder if that's a standard like time.
I think it's a winemaker's choice.
Decision, and that's, I guess, what depends, what makes wines different.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
All right, so let's...
I mean, I think it's a much richer color right off the bat.
It is.
In the last one we tasted, it's got a little bit of a deeper darkness to it.
Mm-hmm.
The when you poured me that little taste to start with, the smell right off the bat was
right.
I don't want to say mustier because I don't want to say anything kind of negative on it. It just was a little more toned down. The other one seemed a little more berry like, but we'll see. Wow.
You can feel it.
It's definitely a little thicker, a little deeper, a little, right?
I would say I can really feel the tannins in this one more than the other one. I can really feel the tannins in the inner side of my cheek, in the gums of my tongue. I can feel the wine more all over my mouth.
A little more like structure to it.
A little more heat.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I it was really smooth. I thought the other Chateau Saint Michel was pretty smooth, but tasting them side by side, you can really kind of get that comparison, which I'm kind of glad you opened this one right after it.
Yeah.
I think this is a smoother wine. I don't get as much of the berryness as I did on the other one, but maybe I just haven't gotten it.
Was the other one a full? What were the grapes in the other?
It was like full. I think
the difference was they were both with the same amount of Cabernet. They both had Bordeaux. The other Saint Michel had a Grenache grape. This one has a Syrah.
I would definitely choose this one over the other. And what's the price point of this one? The other one was about 16.
This is about 20.
20, a couple bucks more.
A couple bucks more.
Might be worth it.
So it depends upon how much you like the person whose house you're going to. Is basically which wine I think you would bring.
This one you'd keep the price label on. The other one you might take
this
it
one
off.
you might ask for that nice silver bag.
Right.
And wrap it up.
Right.
You feel a little bit more confident walking into somebody's home with it. No, this would be something I'd be happy to open up for a nice dinner with a couple of friends over. I think you could drink this with food. You could drink this just by itself before dinner. I would completely enjoy it either way.
I agree.
This is a bit earthier. You said mustier at the beginning. I think it's got a bit more of that headiness.
But I don't really taste. It's not oaky. It's not it's not an oaky. You know, I expect being in a barrel for 16 years, you'd see a little. I mean, yeah, you taste a little more oakiness, and I don't really taste it.
The major difference I get from this wine is the tannins. It really kind of seeps into your gums, and it really kind of you really feel it. You know, if I would say for this kind of wine, if you are primarily a white wine drinker, and you wanted to say what is a red wine I could have that wouldn't be so, untypical of a white, I would say that the other Chateau would be it, because the tannins in this one really hit you in the
Yeah,
mouth.
you think so?
I think so. I think if you're a Cabernet drinker or a Merlot drinker, you'd like it
I think
a
jumping
lot.
from a white to a Cabernet would be a bit of a much anyway. You know, you'd want to probably do something a little bit lighter, but
I think
this I thought was pretty smooth. So, what was your final thoughts on this? You said the structure a little bit. You felt a little bit more mouthiness.
I did. I think the other Saint Michel that we
Yeah.
tasted was, for me, a bit smoother because it had
It
less
was.
less
Definitely
tannins.
it was silkier in the beginning.
Yeah.
This has nicer, deeper, richer flavors. The other one was a little silkier. This I feel in the back of my throat a little bit more,
Right.
and the other one was very smooth all the way through. So.
Mhm.
I do think this has a little bit more of a fuller body, I guess you would say to it, right?
Definitely.
I mean, I think that's that
That's
mouthy
it.
feeling.
Yeah.
Yes, you can see it when you
it's
poured
a
it.
nice, rich, full body, smooth wine. Not crazy on the berries, not crazy on the oak. I think just a nice, easy drinking.
Yeah.
You can bring it over anytime.
And I think we should say, if we talk about the other wine, we've mentioned the term the other wine.
Mm-hmm.
We're referring to the first wine that we tasted, which, if you want to take a look at the tasting notes on that one, it's a 2008 Chateau Saint Michel from the Columbia Valley.
So this is just the single vineyard Indian Wells
Right.
batch.
So if you want to watch that video and kind of watch these videos side by side and see what we thought about that one versus this one, because we keep saying the word other one,
Right.
you should watch that afterwards, I would say.
Let's try some more Washington wines.